Powerhouse of entertainment is here. Please, round of applause. To conduct this special fireside chat, may I please welcome Kamal Mukherjee, journalist, author, biographer, columnist, and filmmaker. And to say something about Vidya Balan, ma'am, I think she needs no introduction. She's one of the finest actresses in the country right now. She's a pioneer when it comes to representation of women in Bollywood and in movies in general. She's a recipient of many important awards, including the National Award and the Padma Shri, which is one of the highest civilian honors of the country. It's an absolute privilege to have her all over here for this lovely session. Thank you so much, ma'am. You're one of my favorites. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Shubhaji.
Thank you. Pleasure. Over to you, Ramda.
Good evening, everybody. I'm sure you all are waiting for this moment because though there's a time frame and a timeline for this chat session, but I have to really speak today about my special guest because I know Vidya for many years. I'm not mentioning the years, but really many years, decades now, I guess. I met her first time having jhalmuri at Dada's office, just immediately after completing Parinita. And I was a journalist, and when I met her, Dada introduced me saying that this is this new girl we're introducing and this is this new film that's going to come up. This is the teaser trailer, and she just came in very casually, walked into the office with a bowl of jhalmuri, which is a Bengali snack. Very unlikely a heroine. She sat very casually and she said, tell me. And just 2 minutes back, I saw this Parinita. I'm like, okay, she is new, she's different. And when, cut to after many years, she spoke that iconic line of hers that entertainment, entertainment, entertainment. She really means it. Because today's topic is, in the changing time of medium, how Vidya Balan, the actor, has evolved herself in the profession that she is in. She is all heart. She worships her vocation, and I know how serious she is. And I am being lucky that I got opportunities to interact with her in various levels as a journalist, as an editor, later on working with a corporate house where she did a film. For me, Shadi Ki Side Effect with Farhan. So different layers. I mean, we had different experience, seeing her in different avatars. And today I'm very happy that I'm interacting with her because Vidya, when pandemic happened, 2020, while the world was thinking that its industry ka kya hoga, cinema hall band ho gaye hain, hum entertainment ka kya karenge. That's when your Shakuntala Devi, Sherni, Jalsa, back to back, you had your digital films. And all critically acclaimed, 3 films completely different from others. So did you as an actor who is a big screen, celluloid, celebrated superstar, had any inhibition that, okay, chalo, am I ready for this experiment? Am I ready to kind of see that whether audience sitting at home will again enjoy me or not? Because from Hum Paanch as a serial, which was again a blockbuster, you moved on to a very bigger space. No actor, at given a choice, would want to go back to something which he or she had left. But you broke that and you proved yourself once again that you are acceptable and you are loved in that medium too. Was it easy?
Firstly, hi Ram, and hi everyone here. Thank you for that very warm welcome. Yes, Ram and I have spoken on many occasions over the years, and like he said, in many capacities. So I'm glad to be chatting with him again today. As far as, it wasn't, content has evolved over the years, and even though now the OTT platforms are accessible on your TV screens or even on your mobiles, I think the content is far more varied. It's not like the shows, the TV shows that we used to watch at that time, you know, which I remember when I did Hampach, I also got other television offers, but I found television to be a very exacting medium. You know, because you have to constantly deliver. There's a constant deadline. It's not like, acha, hum film agle saal release karenge. So under that pressure, you know, to perform and to deliver your best becomes difficult, I think, a lot of times, which is why I didn't enjoy it. And thankfully for me, films worked out. I was still doing a film, and when we made the film, we didn't know it was going to be released on an OTT platform. But when the opportunity came, I'm a very greedy actor. I want people to watch my work. And I was like, okay, this is new. You know, maybe we should. I remember speaking to Vikram Malhotra, the producer of all 3 films that you mentioned, and saying that, you know, I'm open to an OTT release because you have to move with the times. At that time, people couldn't go into the theaters. But now the theaters were coming into their homes. So I said, okay, as long as people watch a ready film, I'm glad. And you know what's amazing is, yes, these 3 films were critically acclaimed, but even though they don't share numbers with us, I know that all 3 films were amongst the most watched films on Amazon at that time.
Correct.
So
Right.
that's very gratifying. At least they have the metrics, huh? They have the numbers, they know what. So I felt very happy about the fact, and the fact that, you know, your film was now reaching 190 countries with Shakuntala, countries, regions, territories, and then by the time we reached Jalsa, it was 240. So I'm greedy. If more people are going to watch my work across the world, I'm more than happy. You know, I'm medium agnostic like that. But yes, I'd love to have a theatrical release sometime soon. I don't know how soon, but at some point, you know, because I want releases everywhere. I want people sitting at home to watch me. I want people to go into the theater and watch me. I just want them to watch me all the time.
That's going to happen very soon, Vidya. Don't worry. You're not going anywhere away from the celluloid or the 70mm. But coming on to a little bit of a technical question is that, as you said that when the movie, like particularly Shakuntala Devi was not made keeping in mind that it's going to release on OTT. But I guess Jalsa was.
Yeah.
And I know that how you work और आप कैसे अपने किरदार पे काम करते हैं और मेहनत करते हैं और हर लाइन पे और हर चीज़ पे आपका एक इनपुट होता है जो फिल्म को कहीं एलिवेट भी करता है. तो in that, as you said, that your audience is now no more, you know, it's not restricted to the Indian market or the Friday, Saturdays weekend collection. It's now 190 country to 240 countries. So हम जब international content देखते हैं और जो, you know, OTT में जो audience हैं, they are exposed to international content of different languages. Performance of an actor is always very underplayed in international cinema or international content. When we make films for theater, when we make Indian films, we have our Indian sensibilities. Without being judgmental about what is good, bad, or ugly, we have our sensibilities in place. We like to be a bit loud or bit more, you know, musical in our approach, which is not that in international scenario. So as an actor, do you have to change your way of performance when you are doing it for an OTT where you think that no, अच्छा ये तो बाहर में भी देखेंगे लोग, तो they should not feel के, you know, it's not matching their sensibility.
No, I think my performance is always dictated by the character. You know, so for example, Shakuntala Devi was more vibrant. She was, you know, effervescent. She was so full of life. She was really. So that was a different person from who I played in Sherni or who I played in Jalsa. You know, in Sherni, she was slightly, you know, she was a more reticent person, a woman of very few words, the absolute contrast to Shakuntala. And in Jalsa, extremely confident woman, knows her mind, and yet at this point when you see her, you catch her at a very vulnerable time. So it's really dictated by the character, not by the medium. Not in the kind of films I do, at least. You know, wherever you release it, whether you see it on a phone, whether you see it on the big screen, I think it will have the same impact because the tone of the film is dictated by the story, not by the medium.
Exactly. Vidya, do you admit that we are going through a time where audience is changing and we really don't know what they want? And I guess due to this pandemic or whatever, you know, they are exposed to a different kind of a content. They were during the lockdown and now, you know, big ticket movies are not working, star names are not working. So you being a part of this industry, what is your take on this changing phase of audience? As an actor, does it bother you?
You know, it saddens me that so many of our films haven't worked in theaters lately. But having said that, I'm also they, as in I'm also the audience you're talking about.
True.
A lot of times these days, I think the world is changing, right? The pandemic has changed something in all of us. And I think therefore also in the way we consume content, the kind of content we consume, the way we consume content. So I think my tastes have also changed. But if you actually ask me, what is it that you like? I don't know. I'm also going through a very confused phase.
So
As an
you are also
audience,
feeling that?
As an audience, I'm feeling that. And therefore, I feel that that's reflecting in the numbers, you know, in the ticket sales in theaters. Because we're all part of the audience, right?
We're all consumers.
We are all consumers. So I think we are going through a very confused state, and clarity will emerge. I think the Hindi film industry is going through a churn, but I believe that, you know, at the other end of the churn, there's always clarity and there's progress. So this is a phase, and I'm sure it won't last too long. And even though it's heartbreaking for all those whose films haven't worked at this point, I think things will start looking better sooner than we think.
True, but Vidya, at the same time, do you also agree a fact that as we are celebrating digital revolution and evolution and everything, and we are here to talk about the digital world that is kind of taking India to a different level altogether, that of course that's a positive side to it, but the negative side is that, which is the social media, without seeing a film, running hashtags, running down films, paid campaigns to kind of pull films down without seeing them, without watching them, being over-judgmental, being kind of, you know, every person is a critique now. I mean, as we were talking about since, like, you know, we met at, before Parinita released, it wasn't like that. We didn't have the social media pressure of any person can pick up their phone and tweet and talk, and in the very first scene they start reviewing it. Even the norms have changed. 1-word review, 5-second reviews, 10-minute reviews. You guys put in a year, 2 years for a movie, and you wait for people to at least watch it for 2 hours and then come out and talk about it. But things have changed.
But you know, Ram, I think over the years, I remember 10 years ago when there were certain producers, directors who decided that they're not going to show their films to critics because they felt कि अच्छा अभी तो review Friday सुबह कोई निकल रहा है जब film release हो रही है तो that's not good for our film, you know, why should people get influenced by the review? So every few years there will be, as we keep moving forward, now there's social media now. Of course, I personally don't like the fact that people are sitting in the theater not focusing on the film. Every 5 seconds they're reviewing. Arey, at least watch the film, na yaar. Sometimes people don't even know what the film is about. They've not even watched the film and they are giving their 2 bits. But I'm saying that is today, you know, that is how the world is. We can't fight that. But I do believe that when a film connects, it doesn't matter, you know, whether someone is tweeting a review or whether someone is posting something on Instagram or doing a video like a vlog from the theater. It really doesn't matter. When a film connects, it does, and it does well. You know, was it very different when earlier in the year we've had a few films that did really well? So, you know, the world hasn't changed dramatically in 4 months. But you know, when a film connects, it connects. All this doesn't matter then.
Duration. Now, coming on to the duration part of it, people are saying that the overall study and research says that we are losing patience. We don't want to watch too long content.
I'm telling you as an audience, I don't have the patience to watch anything beyond 2:15.
That's it.
2 hours, 2 hours 15 at the max. I just feel like उससे ज़्यादा क्या यार मतलब फिर सीरीज बना लो ना अलग अलग एपिसोड में दिखा दो क्योंकि आप पॉपकॉर्न
पॉपकॉर्न ही खत्म हो गया
पॉपकॉर्न फर्स्ट हाफ में ले लिया आपने इंटरवल तक खत्म नहीं हो गया आप डबल खा भी रहे हो फिर नो जोक्स अपार्ट आई जस्ट थिंक दैट 2:15 से ज़्यादा आई डोंट हैव द पेशेंस सो आई नो दैट वी कीप टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑडियंस एज देम बट वी आर द ऑडियंस look at all of us, what are we? So I'm very cognizant of the fact that, I don't have the patience, so I can't put out a film that's 3 hours and say कि अच्छा लोगों को देखनी चाहिए.
So that's where probably you stand out because you have always experimented from television to celluloid to mammoth films like a massive production films to experimental cinema to films on your shoulder, probably. First heroine to have 100 crore film. Round of applause, please don't forget. Kahani, she started the journey. Today we are celebrating womanhood. Today we are talking a lot about women doing pretty well in this industry, but that was Vidya Balan who started it all on her shoulder. So Kahani, not cut. You did a short film. You are on digital films.
I told you I'm actually medium agnostic. मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. I like to tell stories. I like to live different people's lives. That's why I'm an actor. So if I'm getting an exciting opportunity, tomorrow if you come and tell me I want to shoot a film on a phone, will you do it? If I like the story, I might just do it.
Wow. That's amazing. So what drives you? So when which I started asking this question in the beginning of the session is that the changing time, the changing medium for an actor, as you're saying that I just want to tell this story. But there must be certain benchmark, there must be certain rule book in your system where you say that, I can do it. Like for example, I will do a mobile film for you. But there must be some scanner for you. So what is the scanner of an actor that ये experiment मैं कर सकती हूँ लेकिन ये मुझे चाहिए इसमें ये parameters meet करना चाहिए तो मैं ये experiment कर सकती हूँ.
One, I think the story has to connect with me. I should be excited about playing this character, and the director is important. My rapport with the director is very important. So it's not necessary that it's an established director, but it's very important that it has a very credible producer backing it. Even if it's a mobile a mobile phone, a film shot on a mobile phone. Because a producer is the one who makes sure that your film gets the right kind of platform, the release. So that is very important to me. So these are the things that, these are like absolutely non-negotiable.
When people approach you for films these days, when they come and say that आप ही hero हैं और आपके ऊपर ही पूरी film है, you feel happy or you feel burdened that you have set a trend where you have to now take all the films on your shoulder and if it works, of course it is fine, but if it doesn't, then the entire brickbat is yours. So are you okay with dealing the whole thing? But because these days I see that it is only Vidya Balan in and as.
सलमान खान के कंधे दुखते हैं कभी?
अरे वाह!
उनके कंधे नहीं दुखते तो मेरे क्यों दुखेंगे? No, I just mean that I enjoy the fact that people come to me. It's been 14 years since I did Ishqiya in 2008, when I started getting offered these female-led films. And I'm enjoying it because the variety of roles and the kinds of stories that I'm getting to tell is just mind-blowing. It's mind-boggling, actually. I'm enjoying it, and I'm getting paid well. And most importantly, I'm getting to be at the center of, the narrative.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, in a recent interview or a recent media interaction, you said that everything is fine, but you're still probably fighting and struggling with the fact that our industry is not equal as far as the pay package is concerned with, with the male lead and the female lead. So what's your take on that? I mean, the effort that you put in as an actress, though it's a wrong term in today's time, a female actor, as a female actor, the effort you put in is probably more, if not, compared to a male actor. Why the disparity is
I actually have to tell you, I don't have a problem with the word actress.
Okay.
I am a female actor, yes. But
So actress is
actress
fine.
कहने में क्या problem है?
ठीक है, तो actress
You know,
होने-
I think people are fighting non-issues these days. I'm sorry to say this, but there are bigger things to fight about, like equal pay.
तो equal pay पे
हाँ, मुझे
आपका-
कुछ भी बोल लो. पैसा दो
दे दो।
बस.
तो कैसे होगा ये equal pay?
तो नहीं, पर you know, I will say this, that I feel that female-led films don't get as much of a budget. They are released more conservatively. But having said that, I'm completely cognizant of the fact that that's because historically our films have been male-led. So there have been precedents, right? So people know that इस तरह की फिल्में चलती हैं. But when you're taking steps in a new direction, you're always a bit more cautious, which is why I think our budgets are smaller. But having said that, how much do I get versus a male hero? In terms of percentage of the budget, I think we get the same. Except मेरा budget, उनका, you know, उनके budget का 1/3 या 1/4 होता है या उससे भी कम. So I think it's really, I think it's understandable, but I'd like to see it change because now we are seeing success. I'm a little worried that, you know, with films not doing so well theatrically, people are going to become conservative about female-led films again, but I don't think that's fair because even this year when only two Hindi films have worked, one of them has been a female-led film. So we are seeing equal success.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see why we shouldn't see, if not an equal investment yet, at least a bigger investment.
Yes. So there are these changes which you voice for often, and we all want to see these changes, but unfortunately we are still a little far away from seeing those changes.
It'll take time, Ram, as long as it's underway. You know, मैं suddenly उठ के नहीं बोल सकती कि जितना आप अक्षय कुमार को दे रहे हो, आज मुझे उतना ही दो. काश कि मैं बोल सकती. पर
But मिशन मंगल को
ऐसे कहती तो शायद जितना वो खाते हैं मुझे उतना ही मिलता. वो बहुत कम खाते हैं. No, jokes apart, I just think, you know, but as long as we're getting better.
So now, as we are talking about the digital world and the kind of content that we are seeing is completely different from what we were consuming earlier, maybe just 5 years ago. So you as a consumer, as you said, we all are consumer. What kind of content you like to consume on digital platform, which we have never heard? Like we always ask about your films, your character. But as an actor, what is it that intrigues you when you are alone, when you're in your space? What is it that you want to watch?
When I'm watching it as an audience, right?
Yeah.
I really love to watch thrilling content, but not violent.
Oh.
Because a lot of it is extremely violent, and I can't bear, like, you know, blood and gore and all that I can't stomach. But I have to tell you, I'm going through a phase where I don't feel like watching anything currently. So I'm only watching stand-up comedy.
Oh.
Whenever I feel like, I watch Dave Chappelle, I watch Ricky Gervais, I watch Kevin Hart, I'm not taking any Indian names because एक का लिया और किसी और का नहीं लिया तो problem हो जाएगी. मैं बहुत होशियार हूँ. अंग्रेजों के नाम लो, ना वो मुझे जानते हैं, ना कोई खफा होगा.
So why why are you not watching?
I don't know, I just don't feel like, I think it's also reached a stage where you've watched so much content, na? अब समझ में नहीं आ रहा, you begin to for example, I watch certain shows and I predict कि अरे इसमें तो ये होने वाला है. And when it feels like it's going in that direction, then I lose interest. You know, because I want content to outsmart me.
Correct.
And, you know, for example, there was one human drama that I really liked, which was called This Is Us, which also came to an end. So that was, in that, you know, in every episode I used to cry, I used to smile, that's also over. So I'm not really watching anything anymore. When I have the time, I'm watching all these men who make me laugh.
That's pretty interesting to know that you actually kind of, you know, you're not watching movies, but you're watching something else. But at the same time, you know, when an actor chooses to watch somebody else's performance, earlier it was different. Earlier, you know, actors had this excuse of, you know, I'm traveling and I'm busy and you don't get time to go to the theater and can't watch. But now you can watch it on your phone, you can watch it on your device while you're, you know. So in that space, do you think that you're getting more time to see your colleagues' work, your contemporaries' work, or what is happening in the industry? Do you get
I've
to that?
always done 1 or 2 films, so I've always had the time to watch other people's work. If I've not watched it, it's because I didn't want to watch it. I'll be very honest with you. मुझे trials में जाना अच्छा नहीं लगता.
अच्छा.
Because वहाँ अगर picture अच्छी नहीं लगी तो बाहर आके झूठ बोलना पड़ता है और you know, it's like चेहरे पे कुछ आपका चेहरा कुछ और कह रहा होता है, आप कुछ और कह रहे होते हैं. So I stopped going for trials a while ago. कभी-कभी आप avoid नहीं कर सकते. बहुत अगर कोई करीब है तो आप चले ही जाते हो. But I think I actually love to watch everyone's work, and I'm someone who reaches out to my colleagues also, actors, directors, writers, technicians, producers. When I like someone's work, it's a, you know, I love to applaud other people's work as much as I like to get applauded. We're all part of the same industry. Like now, I haven't had a release lately in the theater, but it's not like it doesn't affect me that films are not working currently in the theaters.
Correct. So what's next in Vidya's diary? Like, are we going to see you in a web series? Because you've explored almost everything, so...
I don't know. I'm actually reading a lot of scripts, meeting a lot of people for narrations and stuff, but I haven't decided what to do next. But I have 2 films ready for release.
Which?
One is Lovers,
Okay.
which will release at, I don't know, sometime, hopefully by the end of the year. And produced by Ellipsis Entertainment. It's with Pratik Gandhi, Sendil Ramurthy, and Ileana De Cruz. And early next year, a film that I've done with the Shakuntala director Anu Menon should release. It's called Niyat. That's got a very big cast. So yeah. But by then, in a few weeks, I'll be able to tell you what I'm doing next. But as of now...
So we are not going to get the exclusive from her. So, coming on to the last segment of our chat and the whole digital revolution and actor's mind, I would like to know from your end that when a fresh, as you're saying that, you know, you're listening to script, you're meeting directors, you are hearing things, what is the instant thing apart from the character? Like you're saying that your character drives you, or character, you know, excites, if the character excites you, you say yes to the film. And of course, the director has to be really good. But apart from that, as we spoke, that audience is changing and audience's mind is changing. Do you also evaluate at the same time that, okay, if I say yes to the film in 2022, this film is going to release in 2023, by then what will be the, you know, understanding of the audience, blah, blah, blah. Do you think so far, or you just kind of, you know, an instant person?
It's just in the moment, yeah. Also because I always ask myself, is this something I want to watch as an audience? That's one of the first questions I ask myself when I hear a story. If the answer is yes, I do it. If the answer is no, then I don't. Because, for example, I can't see myself doing a typical horror. Horror comedy like Bhool Bhulaiya is fine. But, you know, like horror, gory horror, I can't watch it. Therefore, I'll never do it. Never say never, but you know, I can't, because मैं खुद देख नहीं पाऊंगी अपनी film. खुद से डर जाऊंगी. So, I think it's, you know, that's always, that's the only that definitely is a criterion, but not about ek saal baad release hui to.
Audience का
That,
सोचेगा.
no, I ask myself, because I'm a member of the audience, I ask myself, is this something I want to watch? But I don't know कि इस room में हर कोई क्या देखना चाहेगा.
That is a fact, and that is what I guess everybody is struggling in today's time. All the makers and all the channel, all the OTT head honchos. There, we had a discussion before our session, and everybody was like, you know, wo tension chala gaya hai. There was a very nice statement somebody made very recently that you now with the kind of audiences that we have, the various genres that we are exploring, we don't have the tension that इसमें एक item number डाल दो, इसमें एक पंजाबी joke डाल दो, या इसमें कुछ ऐसा कर दो, कुछ action कर दो, वो नहीं करना. अगर आपको जैसे शेरनी, what a film, what a brilliant film, because your character, as you said, that the character didn't speak, but it had that affirmity throughout.
Yeah.
So that is something which probably, in very honestly speaking, Vidya, you'll also probably agree, will probably not work on in a theater space in today's time.
Yeah, may have, one doesn't know, Ram. That's the beauty today.
Yeah,
You
because
don't know.
I think
There is no one kind of film that's working in the theaters.
But Sheni worked brilliantly across because
Yeah.
because Sheni is something which people wanted to watch. They gave that time.
Yeah, yeah.
So कुछ cinema होता है ना जिसमें आपको समय देना
Yeah,
पड़ता है.
yeah, yeah.
It's not an instant thing that
Yeah.
you know you शुरू हो गया और you. It's not.
Yeah.
It is a dirty picture.
Yeah,
Or it's-
correct,
So
correct.
so Sheni is that film that you want audience to come in and to kind of, you know. So that's one, and then Jalsa. The beauty of Jalsa, which I felt personally seeing you on screen, was that the tension was in the screenplay.
Yeah.
And for me, it was almost like a Hollywood Fast and Furious. Maybe you.
Yeah, edgy.
Yeah, it's very edgy. The screenplay was so edgy, but the characters were so calm.
Yeah, but you know, it's so amazing that I've had people tell me they had to watch Jalsa over 4 days because it would leave them palpitating. But the funniest, I have to tell you, was my mother.
Why?
She said, मैं तो ऐसे बैठी थी मुझे लगा कहीं पुलिस पकड़ के ले जाएगी. I said, film में ना? Why were you nervous? So funny. She said her heart was in her mouth because she thought I'd get arrested.
Yeah.
And I told her, but if it's in the story, how does it matter? So that's the kind of, that I feel, you know, for example, on the big screen might have worked.
Yeah.
Because people were like, really,
Yeah,
it was edge of
true.
the seat. But it's not the kind of edge of the seat that is visually large, like a, you know, Fast and Furious.
Correct.
But you never know. Today it could have worked in the theater, or maybe not. So, but I'm so grateful that we have OTT platforms today that give you such a wide reach, and where there is an audience for every kind of film, or every kind of show. You know, like they say, water finds its level. Films
True.
find their audience. Content finds its audience today.
True. On that note, we wrap up because, you know, Vidya Balan is somebody who has always experimented, and always with all her experiments, she has always scored the best. She has, maybe the film worked, some film didn't work, but her performance has always been memorable. And I still remember, Vidya, in Guru, you had such a small role, but what an impactful role you had in that. And this growth of you as an actor, and why we are having this session with you today, is that you have never said no to a good role, and you actually meant that. Because whatever has come out in public, whatever we have seen, it is completely different. And probably in today's time, you, amongst the contemporary actors that we have in our industry, has the most brightest and biggest bouquet of performance as an actor. Vidya Balan.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you. And thank you all. Thank you, IWMBuzz.
And I think on this note, we would call season 4 of India Web Fest. And I would like to thank IWMBuzz, all the organizers. Yes, surely.
Yes. Hi. Yes. Yeah. Oh, of course, most definitely. As long as it offers me something exciting, you know, it has to call out to me. Well, I'm happy to do a film in any other Indian language besides Hindi, even though films are my first love, but I'd want to do films in every Indian language. I'd want to work all over the world. Thank you. जी.
कई सुपरहिट फिल्में दी हैं. परिणीता फिल्म के लिए आपके लिए संघर्ष भी था और चुनौती भी थी.
जी.
वो थोड़ा किस्सा.
मैं अपने आप को बहुत खुशनसीब समझती हूँ कि करियर के शुरुआत में ही मुझे उस तरह का संघर्ष देखना पड़ा, क्योंकि उस वजह से आज मैं आपके सामने बैठी हूँ. एक मुझ में मैंने जब उस स्ट्रगल नहीं कहूँगी, पर जो भी बार बार मुझे टेस्ट किया जा रहा था, हाँ, विनोद चोपड़ा ने, तब मुझे लगा कि शायद मैं कभी एक्टर नहीं बनूंगी, पर फिर लगता था कि नहीं, मैं तो करके दिखाऊंगी. तो जो भी हुआ अच्छे के लिए हुआ. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, though I have wrapped the session, but ये ऐसी एक अदाकारा हैं, एक ऐसी कलाकार हैं जिन्होंने सारे नॉर्म्स तोड़े हैं. Not just one. I mean, हीरोइन टिपिकल ऐसा देखना जो हम चाहते हैं वैसा वो नहीं है. हाइट नहीं है, या जो भी उनका जो कैरेक्टराइजेशन जो फिल्मों वो करती हैं, लाइक जो मैंने गुरु का जिक्र किया है, वो कैरेक्टर शायद सारे हीरोइन ना कर दे. पर्टिकुलर एक सीन है उस फिल्म में, उस डायलॉग के लिए, जो डायलॉग कन्विंसिंगली बोलना बहुत मुश्किल है एक हीरोइन के लिए, एक लड़की के लिए. आप वो फिल्म देखेंगे तो आपको समझ में आएगा मैं कौन सी सीन का जिक्र कर रहा हूँ. It's not easy for an actor to say that on screen, actress to say that. So she's always tried to kind of break things and do it in her own way, and that's why I said that she's got the biggest and the most beautiful bouquet of performances in her career, and I'm sure the bouquet is going to become bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yes to that. Thank you all. Thank you.
Well, सिर्फ फिल्में ही नहीं, I think Fireside Chats भी बिल्कुल 3 चीज़ों की वजह से चलती है. Entertainment है कि नहीं? Big round of cheers for none other than Vidya, Balan. May I please call upon stage Siddharth Laik, founder and editor-in-chief, IWMBuzz.com, and Franklin Toscano, CTO, IWMBuzz Media Not. Please give away the memento for the session.